Apple's next Mac Mini. M6 versus M5 Pro. What are the rumors? Apple's Mac Mini has always been one of the most interesting products in Apple's lineup. It is compact, minimalist, and small enough to fit almost anywhere. But inside that small design, Apple has managed to deliver some seriously powerful performance. Now, new rumors and speculation are raising an interesting question. Could Apple eventually introduce a base Mac Mini powered by a future M6 chip, while a higher-end professional model uses an M5 Pro chip? So, what are the rumors, and what could these two possible models mean for performance, AI, video editing, multitasking, cooling, and professional workloads? Let's take a closer look. First, let's talk about the rumored M6 Mac Mini. The idea behind the M6 model is simple: a compact desktop computer with a next-generation Apple Silicon chip designed for everyday users, creators, developers, and anyone who wants serious performance in a very small package. A future M6 chip could potentially bring improvements in CPU performance, graphics performance, AI capabilities, and power efficiency. The interesting part is that Apple could potentially keep the Mac Mini's compact design while making the hardware inside much more powerful. In other words, the outside could remain familiar, while the internal technology takes a major step forward. One of the biggest areas where a future M6 Mac Mini could improve is artificial intelligence. AI workloads are becoming increasingly important in modern computers. From image generation and video tools to local AI assistants and machine learning applications, more software is starting to use dedicated AI hardware. A future M6 chip could potentially offer improved neural processing capabilities that could allow compatible applications to handle more AI tasks directly on the computer. For users, this could mean faster AI tools, more powerful creative workflows, and potentially better privacy when certain tasks can be processed locally. However, the exact specifications are still unknown. It is important to remember that these are rumors and expectations, not confirmed Apple specifications. Now, let's move to the more powerful possibility: an M5 Pro Mac Mini. This model would likely be aimed at professional users. That could include video editors, 3D artists, developers, engineers, photographers, and other professionals who need more performance than a standard Mac Mini can provide. An M5 Pro chip could potentially offer more CPU cores, stronger graphics performance, higher memory bandwidth, and better support for demanding professional applications. This is where the difference between the two models could become particularly interesting. The M6 base model could focus on next-generation technology, efficiency, and everyday performance. Meanwhile, the M5 Pro model could focus on maximum professional performance. But this raises an important question: which one would actually be more powerful? The answer would depend on the exact specifications. An M6 chip would be newer, but an M5 Pro chip could have more cores and additional resources designed specifically for professional workloads. So, an M5 Pro could potentially outperform a standard M6 in certain demanding tasks. This could be especially important for video editing, 3D rendering, heavy multitasking, and professional applications. Imagine a professional workstation powered by an M5 Pro Mac Mini. Multiple high-resolution displays could be connected. One screen could show an 8K video timeline. Another could display a complex 3D scene. A third could be used for coding, data analysis, or an AI workload running in the background. For a professional user, this type of multitasking can be extremely demanding. And this is exact. Professional users often need multiple displays, fast external storage, high-speed accessories, and other peripherals. That makes the rear connectivity of the Mac Mini particularly important. A higher-end Mac Mini would need to work as the center of a complete professional workstation. Now, the biggest question is whether these rumored chip combinations actually make sense. At first, the idea of a newer M6 chip in a base model and an M5 Pro chip in a higher-end model may sound confusing. Why would an older generation Pro chip be used alongside a newer generation standard chip? The answer is that Apple's chip lineup is not only about the generation number. The word Pro matters. A Pro chip can have more processing resources than a standard chip. So, a newer standard chip and an older Pro chip could potentially target completely different users. The M6 could be designed for the latest generation of Apple silicon technology, efficiency, and everyday performance. The M5 Pro could be designed for maximum performance within the professional tier. That difference could allow Apple to create a clear product lineup. For everyday users, the M6 Mac Mini could be the attractive option. It could be compact, efficient, powerful, and capable of handling productivity, creative applications, AI tools, and multitasking. For professionals, the M5 Pro Mac Mini could offer the extra performance needed for demanding workloads. The two computers could look very similar from the outside, but internally, they could be designed for completely different types of users. And that is what makes this rumor particularly interesting. However, it is important to keep one thing in mind. At this stage, these chip combinations should be treated as rumors and speculation. Apple has not officially confirmed an M6 Mac Mini with these specifications, and the exact details of any future M5 Pro Mac Mini are not guaranteed. The final hardware, performance, release schedule, pricing, and design could all change. But if Apple does follow this direction, the Mac Mini could become an even more interesting part of the Mac lineup. A compact M6 model for next-generation everyday performance, and a powerful M5 Pro model for professionals and demanding workloads. So, which model would you choose? Would you prefer the newer M6 chip in the base Mac Mini? Or would you choose the more powerful M5 Pro model for professional work? Let us know in the comments. And if you want to see more updates about Apple Silicon, future Mac models, and the latest Apple rumors, make sure to follow the channel. Because the future of the Mac Mini could be much more powerful than its tiny size suggests.